do this opening shot. Oh, look. You can see Pass in the background. Hello and welcome back to Automotive Tales. On today's episode, we are making a very, very important journey to do a pre-delivery inspection of the BMW e30. It's finally time after 16, 17 years of trying to get this car fully restored. We might actually be there. And I've got a car full of goodies to go on the car as well. Right, join me as we drive all the way down towards Bristol to go and look at a car. Go to look at a convertible, they said. Let the summer end and all the rain come, they said. So I'm going to apologise to every single person watching this video who likes the sunshine, because today's the day we go and look at my convertible that's being restored and the weather's broken and it's absolutely hammering it down. I've managed to get a gap in the rain to record a little video and it's just started raining again. That's it. That's it. It's going to rain all of summer now. Sorry. My fault. I'm channeling my inner 80s, ready for going to look at my 80s car. Okay, quick progress update. We are well on the way. I'm on the 429, the Foss Way. Hit quite a lot of traffic in Morton on the Marsh. They seem to have like half a mile tailback in each way because they're putting a drain cover in for a new housing estate or some nonsense like that. Anywho, we're about 20-25 minutes out of reaching Classic Bahnstormers, which is where the e30 Cabriolet is being restored. So last little drive, get some tunes on, enjoy the Foss Way, and I'll see you at Classic Bahnstormers. I keep trying to do time lapse of my journey, and the story of my journey is trucks, vans, temporary traffic lights, roadworks, and people driving slowly. I love the Foss Way, but sometimes just come on people, get a move on.
A few moments later.
Okay, we have made it to Classic Bahnstormers. We are in a nondescript location on the outskirts of Malmesbury, home of Dyson, believe it or not. And yeah, now we're going to go and see my lovely restored e30. I can't wait. And because we're here at Classic Bahnstormers, if you've seen the video before, there's always amazing stuff. So I've just driven in and there's a line of shark nose BMWs. It's just delightful. Right, now I've got to go and find my glasses because it's way too dark already for wearing sunglasses, because apparently May has been spring, summer, and we're back into autumn already. Right, let's go find an e30 Cabriolet. Specifically my one, obviously. So, the moment of truth. The first time I've heard this car start for 17 years. No pressure, Steve. Basically a new car. Right, so where are we going to go for a drive?
Go for a little drive in the Cotswold countryside.
Yeah, shall we? Oh, it's such a sweet little engine. It's so smooth. Obviously we can't rev it out yet because, well, I guess it's been running.
It's done, yeah, so we've done, so whatever it says at the bottom of your odometer there is what's been done in the trip counter.
400 miles.
We've done 408 miles. You know, ideally you want to give it the 500.
Yeah.
We've just done a fresh oil change in it. I'd probably see it through to 1,000 and change the oil again.
Yeah.
That's what we'd recommend.
Okay.
And then after that, you can fill your boots.
Drive it, not quite like I stole it, but
no.
Although when you consider what it's worth, just probably not what I've spent on it, versus versus what I originally paid for it, it sort of now does feel like I stole it. Albeit we've had to do a lot to realise that theft. 500 quid this car cost me, with an extra 50 quid for a new battery. Not that I ever used the battery. But yeah, she's not quite up to temperature, but when she is, let's just listen to it a little bit more.
How was your test drive, John?
Oh, beautiful. It is so silky smooth. It's like it's a dream. It literally, to be honest, it is a dream come true. This car has been with me nearly 20 years. I've never driven it until now. Fabulous. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
No, it's our pleasure. I know the guys have enjoyed doing this one, and these are always the projects that we love to do. You know, it's just for the love of it, really. These are the best ones. Right.
That's it. Right, let's go put some badges on.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is future John looking back at our little visit to Classic Bahnstormers. I'm stuck in traffic on the A429, the Foss Way, so it's given me a chance to really think about what happened today. And it's been quite an emotional day, I have to say, which sounds like a strange thing to say for doing a pre-delivery inspection for a car. But I've had that car for such a long time. As I talked about, it was supposed to be my wedding car. It sort of became the butt of a number of jokes. Is John ever going to finish this E30 in the nicest way? And to be honest, I didn't think I maybe would, because there was so much needed doing. It was probably a bit beyond my skills, and I didn't really have the resources to let the professionals get on and get it done properly. And the result of a couple of really unpleasant years in my life, losing my grandfather and my father, put me in a position, a very lucky position, where I had some money that I could spend on something I really wanted to do. And that was actually to achieve a sense of accomplishment, to finish a car project, which anybody in a classic car world will know. Well, you never really finish a project, but to get a car working and to be able to drive it if it's been off the road for a long time is an incredibly satisfying moment. And I feel I've been able to do something I wouldn't have been able to do myself by letting the professionals, Steve and his crew at Classic Bahnstormers, to take the car on and finish it. But it sort of feels like that's the culmination of, you know, losing a family member. And so it's quite a lot invested emotionally in that car. And so driving it today for the first time it's sort of starting to hit me now. It's quite a powerful thing. It reminds me of everything that's gone on that's led to me to be able to do that. And while yes, I've arguably been probably quite fiscally irresponsible with the amount of money I've spent on the car, it sort of doesn't matter, because the money you've spent on the car only matters when you come to sell it. And that's not the reason for doing it. This is done so that I can enjoy the car. A car that was supposed to be part of my wedding. It's been part of my life for such a long time that I've only been able to complete because my father was more fiscally responsible than me. So I guess it's a bit of an ode to Dad. Thanks, Dad. Oh, it's a good job I'm wearing sunglasses, eh? Yeah. Just sad Dad couldn't be here to see it, but here we are. It's nearly finished. And I've only him to thank, really. Who'd have thought a classic car can be so emotive? But here we are. Right, I best pull myself together, because I've got to drive when the lights eventually go green. Right, now for the all-important bit. Let's put some badges on.
Palm of the hand.
Bang.
Straight in the middle.
What can possibly go wrong? Oh, that's it. And that one.
That's it.
This is on.
So we do the front. It's right in the middle.
Yeah, bang.
Like that.
So like that.
Straight in the middle. Just, that's it. Look at that. Isn't that pleasing?
Oh. she goes. Right, well, I'm sitting in my E30 and it looks like I'm almost laid down. I'm not quite. It's not the most flattering angle to record at, but yeah, as you've probably just seen, I've driven this car for the first time in somewhere around 17, 18 years. I'll go back and find the V5 when I get home and give you the exact numbers, but yeah, it's beautiful. It drives so nice. All the BMWs I had over the years were as I was a student, and then when I left student and started working, I had a few old 5 Series and 3 Series, and they were all, you know, 500 quid cars. In fact, one of them was a £150 BMW M535i that I bought from a chap at PPC magazine, Toby Una, way back when, which was a great machine. I'll stick in a picture of it here when I painted it and modified it and done all sorts of stuff to it. £150. So they were all pretty shed-like, and this is anything but. Well, it needs for a few bits still, so you can see the window's gone a bit milky back here, and there's lots of little bits around the edges I need to sort out. I think you can probably just about make out on the camera. The seats have seen slightly better days, but it doesn't want to be too perfect because I hope to be able to drive this car quite a lot. But I had all the bodywork done before we found there was a problem with the engine, and the guys here at Classic Bahnstormers have basically rebuilt the engine from the ground up. So the only things that are original on this engine now is the block, so it's matching numbers, the crank and the head, and that is it. Basically everything else has been replaced. Rods, pistons, rings, gaskets, camshaft is new, obviously the belts and everything else that goes with it, because this is a timing belt rather than chain on this particular M20. I forget the difference. One's a Jetronic and one's a Motronic. I'm sure people will bleep bloop in the comments and tell me which one it is, but yeah, my E30 lives and it drives so nicely. So we had the gearbox rebuilt, we've got all new bushings as well in the gear linkage. Everything has been adjusted and checked. They've done, well, I think it's in the video, so it's now done 423 miles of shakedown. We're only able to get up to 4,000 revs because it's still going through that sort of bedding in period. We'll get to 1,000 miles, change the oil, and then it should be good to rev like a free, well-used engine, because it's technically the car's done 122,000 miles, but the engine has only done 400. So yeah, quite an emotional day, to be honest. As I said, I genuinely didn't think I was going to see the day when I drive this car, and it was. So what I don't think mentioned in previous videos, this was supposed to be my wedding car. I was putting it back together. I didn't know about the gremlins that were hiding in the engine bay. I didn't make it to the wedding with the car because there were a few bits that I got last minute to do the brakes at the back which didn't fit, so I had to change the plan, and it's probably a good job I didn't, because we would never have made it to the wedding. So I'm glad it came here and they found all the problems, and while it's been a very expensive journey, we sort of gave them a bit of a blank check to fix the mechanicals. It was necessary, and now what we've got is a very smart, very presentable car that is mechanically basically new. So it's had new springs, new dampers, all the fuel system's been done, new fuel tank, all new fuel lines, new brake lines, all the brakes have been rebuilt, the engine has been rebuilt, the gearbox has been rebuilt, the diff has been rebuilt, all the prop has been balanced. It's got a stainless system all the way through, so that should be good for the life of the car. It's got new wheels on it, so it's got the proper BBS wheels. We have got the centre caps for it. We're not going to put those on today in case they come off, because while I paid £42 each for them, they are very, very expensive today and no longer available from BMW. So I've got a set of 4 that are properly sealed in their bag, still with the BMW part number on them, and the nice little tool for taking them on and off. But yeah, they're quite valuable. I don't like to see, you know, £150 worth of centre cap going off into a bush until we know they're going to stay on. Anyway, that's it for my visit down here to Classic Bahnstormers. I'd love to be able to show you around, because from where I'm sat, I can see 2 E30s. I can see, what's the 6 Series? E32? Bleep bloop in the comments below. What E number is a 6 Series? I think they had 2, the first and second gen. There is a 7 Series 750IL that is one owner from new, who still gets chauffeured in the back of it, which is just epic. In the most beautiful spec you've ever seen. It's green over like a brown tan leather, like a cigar brown. It's beautiful. And somewhere behind me there is a lovely E12 M535, which is probably up there with the 3-litre CSL in terms of my want. It is gorgeous, and one that the owner uses properly. It's used for rallying and road racing and all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, a really, really cool place. So if you've got an 80s BMW that needs some love, I suspect this is the only place to bring it. So yeah, down here near Cirencester in the countryside, tucked away, and they've been looking after my beautiful E30 now for probably 18 months. Not driving it home today. There's a few last bits to do on it. They're still doing some shakedown bits. I'm going to come back in a couple of weeks and we'll make a separate video on that, because you remember a few years ago we went to London to pick up an E30 that my friend Dr. Ian bought back, that he'd had years ago when he was a student. Sold it to me, I'd sold it on, and he hunted it down and bought his car back. We are on the way to pick up the E30. Just joined the M25. What are the chances of pulling up behind H430 ELC?
You see this? Some good news.
Yeah. Well, we're going to close that loop out, and he's going to bring me to pick up my E30 from restoration in his E30 325 Cabriolet, which is lovely. Right, unfortunately I have to hand the keys back. They're going to put it away, and I'm going to drive home. So I'll part you by saying apologies. I now have a working BMW convertible, which means it is going to rain the entire summer. Yeah, sorry. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Well, we're on the way back. We're still on Foss Way, and you always see some really interesting stuff on the Foss Way. I've just stopped by this place. It's got some really cool stuff for sale, some proper vintage Americana over here, a 928, some L322s if you're that way inclined and you don't like your wallet, and this cool SL500 as well. I don't know how much they're for sale for, but yeah, they're at this little Shell garage just down the road from Caffeine and Machine, which is consequently where I'm going to head next. Might as well, since I'm literally going to drive right past the door.